garbage page in a post of general classic rock on Feb 11, the classic rock era began in the 1960s with rock and roll bands like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, diversing into bands like Led Zeppelin and the Doors. The classic rock era ended in the 1980s, sadly. This door vinyl record represents a specific type of band in the classic rock culture, and since I consider myself part of that culture, I want to inform you in the different bands that they had and that the culture I'm a part of. This vinyl record is a piece of classic rock culture, and usually the people that listen to these sorts of bands also listen to vinyl records as well. Peter Clark Goldman invented the vinyl record, and it was mostly popular from the 1950s to the 90s. These vinyl records are made from plastic and are usually flexible. The vinyl records that were made before were made out of glass, and they often shattered easily, so how we upgrade now with iPhones and with iPods, they also upgraded with the vinyl records. In my opinion, it's a lot better to listen to any kind of music that you're into with the vinyl records than it is with your iPod or with your with anything that you listen to now. And if you've never listened to these vinyl records with your favorite music, I recommend you do it. The vinyl records, in my opinion, are the root of the culture of this classic rock culture. The vinyl records were mostly made popular from the 1960s, and that's when the classic rock culture was really hot. Everybody went to the concerts, mostly everybody was into that. So it takes you back to that era. You feel like you're there because you're listening to where the music came from. Not many people in our society listen to vinyl records anymore. It's really rare to find someone or to have a connection with those people. For example, when I go to Amibas or I go to a record store and I see people who listen to that music and they're buying records, I feel like I have a connection with them. The Door vinyl records are made all over the world for people in different countries to listen to. However, it's not just the Doors. You can listen to Elvis or the Wanderers. The vinyl records are very popular. In my opinion, what makes a vinyl record so unique is the representation and the vintage sound it has. Representing myself in this culture can at times be hard because when people see me and they know that I listen to the music, they can be, oh, she's a hooligan, look at her with her dark hair and dark makeup. And she's probably listening to that music and doing drugs or getting high or smoking cigarettes, and may that part of it is true. I feel like it's satisfying when you find someone that you can talk to and you're accepted into that kind of classic rock that I'm into. Being part of this culture is not always about dressing in dark colors or having a lot of tattoos or dyeing your hair blue, but it's the peace that you feel when you listen to this music. A major aspect of this culture is the groove and the peace you feel when you get into it. I enjoy listening to classic rock, therefore I consider myself part of this culture. I was incorporated into this culture at a very young age. I remember waking up on a late Saturday morning, listening to my dad play the Beatles and him singing very loudly and waking me up to And I Love Her, which if you guys haven't heard is a really good song. And I remember also going to the grocery store in the car with my mom and coming back and helping her cook dinner or breakfast and her rocking out to the Guns N' Roses concert and her singing. I decided to become part of this culture when I started to listen and watch Pink Floyd and the Door concerts that my dad had from his young age. I also decided to become part of this culture because my parents have an album full of pictures of themselves when they were younger, with my mom in really tight dresses and rocking out at a concert, or my dad with long hair and his tattoos. So I felt like that was part of my culture even before I was born. I became well aware that I enjoy listening to this music. It related to me on many aspects. Growing up, I really didn't struggle on deciding to become part of this culture. Although I am very diverse, I can listen to Eminem or to like Katy Perry, I don't care, right? But this culture has always been a part of who I am, and I really enjoy listening to this culture. Often when I listen to the Rolling Stones or the Doors or Guns N' Roses, which are my favorite, It reminded to myself and everyone who listens to this music as well that we are accepted into a certain type of culture. Whether it's basketball or football or photography, you guys are part of that culture. When you take pictures or when you put that jersey on or when you wear that helmet, you're passionate about what you like doing. You're accepted into what you believe in or like doing. When I find someone who also shares the same type of music or listens to my favorite bands, I enjoy talking to them about the similar tastes we have. I know that at times the people that consider themselves part of this culture can be intimidating, but I consider myself very friendly. So you would be surprised the people that are into music, and you wouldn't guess that they are a part of this culture as well. This culture is more open than you guys realize, and I am glad to say that I am part of this culture.